Welcome back. So if you have found your first product, then welcome. This is the lecture for you. If you haven't found your first product yet, I really recommend you go to the previous lecture and actually find the product. Because in this lecture, we will be setting it up together. So just to make it visually more clear, the imported part is sort of the in-between of you actually finding the supplier and before putting it live in your store. Now, when you find a product and supplier in here, you are going to be importing it to the middle, in the middle here to your import list. This is important because there's gonna be a lot of things like setting up a title, a description, the right images, etc. So then when you prepared it here from the import list, poof, you can push it directly to your store. So basically 3 steps: find the product and supplier, import it to the import list to set it up, and then put it available in your store. So let's get started together. So you should be in the search and then in import list, and then all we need to do is hover a mouse over the product and then click down here where it says edit. Now you'll notice there are a couple of different options. You could use the supplier optimizer like before. You could push it directly to Shopify. Don't do that. You could delete the product. You could add tags. I'm going to show you how to do that too soon. Add in shipping info. I'm going to show you that too. And then you can split it to multiple products. Remember, there are multiple variations of this product, so those could be multiple products instead rather than variations if we want to. But almost all of this can be changed just here in edit products. So we're going to click there. So as you can see, the name itself is completely chaotic. No one is going to trust you or buy your stuff if it looks like this. The reason it looks like this is because suppliers on AliExpress are using keywords so that they will pop up in the search results. So people like us are gonna find their products. When you are dropshipping from a Shopify store, it doesn't work the same way. We wanna be much shorter and direct. In fact, to make this really straight and simple, I do have a template for you. So if you check out the resources of this lecture, you're gonna find a template that looks like this: product page guidelines. We can just follow this to the T and all of your products are gonna look great. So first of all, let's look at an example and then we're gonna see some more in-depth details. We have the product title, we have the product description and product images. If we go back, we can see here we have the product with the title, we have the description, and we have the images. They're not in a straight line, but we can still use these templates when they come up. So first things first, that's the title. It's absolutely chaotic. It's just a mess. So if we look at the guidelines, it says simple and short. So for this product, in this example, it says couples distance bracelets. I can guarantee you that that product had something like this. So for this, I'm just gonna call it flower earrings. You don't need to add in a bunch of adjectives like chaotically cute. I don't think you would say chaotically cute, but don't use a bunch of adjectives. Be straight to the point when writing the title of your product. So I'm just gonna write flower earrings here. Moving down, we have collections. Don't worry about collections yet. We're gonna set that up in the very next lecture, and I'm gonna show you how you can have collections of similar products put together and then put out on your store. So we're not gonna touch that for now, but later when you create your collections, you can add them straight in there from here by clicking here and then selecting the collection. Right now we have homepage, but don't worry about that for now. And then we have type. Now type is very interesting because type is almost like a keyword. Now this is called flower earrings, but if you remember, we actually search for boho style. So it doesn't say boho here anywhere, but if we wanted to kind of give our general store a boho theme and import more boho product, we could put it under the type and write boho. So that would mean that when people come to our store and search for our products and then they search for boho, then this product is actually going to show up. So I can add in boho there, or I can add in another word if I like that more, bohemian. I think that's a word that's more commonly used. So I'm just going to add in bohemian right there. And then we have tags. So what are tags and how are they different from types? Well, types is how you decide to organize your product. You can have a bunch of different bohemian products or boho products. You could use both search words as well. And then you could put them under the same type. So when people search for them, then they are going to appear in the search results on your store. Now, tags is not visible for your customers. Tags is only for your own organization. So let's say that you had a collection and that collection was called earrings because you're planning on importing more earrings. Well, then you want to have a collection and a section on your site called earrings, and every earring you import, you want to automatically end up in that collection. So rather than going to every product and doing that manually, we could go to tags, we can write earrings, just like this, and enter it. And now if we have a collection called earrings and we set that up, which we're going to do in the next lecture, this is going to be automatically added to the collection. Super fast, super simple. Vendor, we don't have to worry about vendor. We are the vendors, but if you were owning multiple stores, then you might want to type which store that's going to be selling this product. Now, before we move on, just as a note here, the type here could be the reverse. You could have the type as earrings, and then you could have the collection as bohemian. So how you decide to organize your store and your product is going to be completely up to you. But if this is confusing, it's going to make a lot more sense in the next lecture when we actually go into collections and you get to see it practically. And then we can change the image. I like this image, but if you want another front image for this product, you can choose any of these. We can change all of this later too. Then we're gonna go to variants, and variants literally means the other types of the same product. So there's a lot of types in here, and the first thing we wanna do is decide which type of product do we want to add in. So we might not want all of these simply because we might not like all of them. We don't wanna give them too many options. And not all of these are going to be in stock either. So if you look here, you can see stock on AliExpress, 0, 0. So we're not going to choose those. But let's say that I wanted to choose this one. I wanted to choose the orange one. It looks nice. I want to choose that one. I already have that color. This one, of course, that's on the front page. And this one, maybe the green one too. So I've chosen a couple, and I actually did choose the one with 0 stock. Don't do that. So I've chosen a couple, and let's say I like this. You could choose all of them if you like all of the variations, and the ones that are checked in are going to be the ones that will be imported as a variation to your store, and those that aren't checked in are just going to be left behind. Next, we have SKU. That's stock keeping unit. That's the unique ID for the product. Now, this product is going to exist in many variations with many suppliers, and all of those suppliers will have a unique ID to know that it's from them. So we don't need to touch this, we don't need to worry about it, and this is nothing that's going to concern the customer either. Moving on, we have another section here that says metal color. It's so cramped, so we can't really see what it says. But if we look on the page itself, it says, you can see that it says a metal color here. Another word for that would just be color. And behind it, or rather to the right of it, it says 3 detachable. So we have different colors, and all of these colors have different names. What we want to do is maybe rather than calling it metal color, we can call it color. And rather than call this 6 detachable, how about yellow? I think that's a pretty good suggestion. So we're going to go back and we're just going to fix those up. First of all, I'm going to remove that, and I'm just going to write color, and then here starts the work. For example, this to me, I'm slightly colorblind, I think, but I do believe this is teal. And then this would be orange. Scrolling down, this wouldn't be the color 12. This would actually be, let's say that's purple. Sorry, slightly colorblind. And then you just go through that on all of the ones you've checked. Moving on, we have cost. And the cost we're talking about here is the cost from the actual supplier, the supplier that we found on AliExpress. So different variations are going to have different costs here, which might also be into your calculations when you decide which variations to use. To the right, we have something that says price value. What is the price that you want to put for this product? For simplicity's sake, I recommend just putting all of these for the same price. And then we have something that says compare value, meaning if you want to put it on sale. So let me show you how this works practically. Let's say that we want to put the actual price of these for $17.99. So rather than going through all of these different ones, we can just go to action up here, click on change price, and I'm going to write $17.99. Click on save, and now all of the prices are gonna change to $17.99. All of the ones that I have selected have changed to $17.99, and the ones that I haven't selected remain the same. Now, if I wanted to put this for sale, I could go to action here and change compare at price. Let's write $19.99. So now we're gonna have a little sale for this product. practically on your product page is gonna look like this, where we can see that we have 19.99 kind of stricken out here, and it says now just 17.99. It's on sale. So if you remove the compare to price here by just going to action, change compare price, and then just writing 0, the product isn't going to be for sale. So we're gonna keep it at that for now. Moving on to the right, stock to Shopify, we're not gonna touch these because these are automatically going to update the stock. So both you and your customers can see when they are in stock and when they aren't. And it's definitely to your advantage to make sure that you only sell products that are actually in stock and can be shipped by the supplier. So we're not going to touch these. And these are just the variants that we looked at here. So we don't need to do anything about these. Description. Okay, so we have the specifications and we have the overview. This will not be pushed to your Shopify store. So the entire overview section you can completely ignore. This is chaotic and this we want to write something ourselves. So let me give you an example here from the template. If we go to product description, it says connect the product to the customer by solving a problem or fulfilling a passion. Write 3 bullet points with benefits. So it could look like this. Here's the title, couples distance bracelets. And then we have the tiny description, usually 1 sentence. Stay connected to your love no matter the distance with these bracelets. It's a couples distance bracelets. And then 3 bullet points, natural stones, complementary designs, comes in different colors. So now we are gonna write something similar. So I'm just gonna remove all of these and I'm just gonna paste something in that I prepared beforehand. And it says, let others see your beauty blossom. And this is going, by the way, to adapt to the style that you already have on your Shopify store, so don't worry if this looks a little bit weird. Let others see your beauty blossom. So here we're fulfilling a passion for someone who really enjoys flowers. And I'm also being a little punny, catchy here. Unique design, multiple colors, lightweight. So those are the ones, the 3 bullet points with benefits. Now later on, you're gonna learn more about how to turn features to benefits, but that's later on to increase your sales. For now, let's keep it simple. If you don't know what to write, don't worry about it. And also don't feel too locked in. If you want to write a couple of more sentences here, that's completely fine. Just try to keep it short and to the point. And if you want to use 5 instead of 3 bullet points, no one is going to put you into the bullet points prison, I promise. So it's completely fine to bend the rules slightly. This is just the default that I prefer to use. So we're going to go with this for the description. It's short and sweet. Moving on to images. Now, all of the images that we check here are going to be imported to the actual products for these earrings. So we kind of want to make sure that we check at the variants and we see that we don't have a black one. So it doesn't really make sense that we import black earrings and showcase that sort of product to them. So what you want to do is just scroll down here and uncheck all of the images that are, first of all, low quality, because sometimes there are those in here, and also those that are going to show a product that you won't actually be selling. Once you're done with that, move over to shipping info, and there's nothing you need to do here. This is already taken care of. You could search for United States to see what the shipping options are. There we can see United States. And then you can check these out again. And of course, AliExpress standard shipping, 25 days, and it has tracking available. Now, if you're planning to sell to the US and also to other countries, then this can be a good idea to check out. Maybe you know that you're going to be targeting the UK a bit as well. Then you want to write in the UK here and make sure that you have good shipping options for there. Now, later on, when you do a test order, you might notice that you're only able to sell to the US right now on your store. Don't panic about that. You haven't done anything wrong in the shipping settings or done anything wrong on your store or with the info or with the DSERs. Later on, much later on in the course, I'm going to show you how to expand your market so you can sell to the entire world, even though we will be focusing on the US. Okay, so once you've done all of this, you click on save down in the lower right corner. And once it's saved, you can hover over and you can click on push to Shopify. Now you're gonna get a couple of options. Do you want to publish it to the online store? That meaning that there is gonna be available into the store. Definitely. Continue selling when out of stock. No, we don't want to do that. And our system detects you have manually edited the price. We don't want them to change the price for us because that's very unreliable. And of course, this is the store. If you had multiple stores, then there would be multiple options. And then all you need to do is click on push to Shopify. So now if you move from import list to my products, you should see the product right here. And also, if you go to your store and move over to products, you should see the product right here too. And there we have it, flower earrings. So now it's automatically in your store. Now do notice I have taken the liberty to add a couple of additional products. And that is because in a couple of lectures, we're going to be designing the homepage of our store. And generally you can have a pretty cool design if you have 3 products. But because 3 products can be difficult in the beginning, I want you to make sure that you have at least 2 products. And I'm going to show you how to build up the store and how to make a nice design with just 2 products, and then much later on 3. So make sure that you go into find suppliers, find at least 1 more product, import it, set it out like we just did, and that in my products you have at least 2 products before moving on to the next lecture. If you want to have 3, that's just a plus. You're going to get a cooler design. Make sure that you follow these step-by-step so you can move back to the previous lecture if you need any form of reminders, and then I'll see you in the next lecture.